How can people who are so different in so many ways, like a man and a woman, join together in a fruitful and productive union? This is the life lesson we'll learn from the 14th star of Vedic Astrology, Viśākhā, the couplet. In this series, Life Lessons of the Vedic Nakshatra, we'll discover how life really works by exploring the 27 constellations through the mystical Sanskrit words of the Vedic Nakshatra Sutra. So, as we do all the time with every video in this series, let's begin our exploration of the sutra by listening to the original Sanskrit, which I've recorded with the students from the first Nakshatra Sutra online class that I did. So here we go, the Sanskrit for the sutra on Viśākhā.
Indragni Viśākhē yugani parastat krishamana avastha. Indragni Viśākhē yugani parastat krishamana avastha.
Indragniyor Viśākhē yugani parastat krishamana avastat. When light and rain couple, seeds can be harvested. So let's take a look at the words involved here. The first vocabulary word in the sutra is Indragni, and the word is presented in the sutra as Indragniyoho, which is a dual case. So it's talking about two things, Agni and Indra. Agni is the fire principle, so it refers to the sun and the sunlight and light, or heat and light. And then Indra is the rain god. So the sutra is talking about light and rain. And this is the key to understanding Viśākhā Nakshatra, is that it's going to deal with opposite principles, like fire and water. Now, what does it do with these opposite principles? Viśākhā, the word itself, which is the second word in the sutra, Indragniyo Viśākhē, Viśākhā means to couple things together. Actually, what this word literally means, V means special or distinct, the prefix V, and then Shakha, that root word Shakha means branch. So Viśākhā refers to a point at which two branches join, like a fork. The two things which are Viśākhā, which mean very clearly, very distinctly, or especially different from each other, where they join. That's what Viśākhā means. The combination of two very different things is a Viśākhā. Two distinctly different things. In this verse, in this sutra, it's the Indra and the Agni, the rain and the fire, the water and the fire, the light and the rain, joining together. Indragniyo Viśākhē, when light and rain join. Then, the next word is Yugani. Yugani is in the Parastat section of the sutra, which if you've been following along with the rest of the sutras, you know that the Parastat section is the section that describes what the nakshatra needs in order to function healthfully. So what Viśākhā Nakshatra needs is Yugani. Yugani is a plural form of yug, which means coupling, joining. So what Viśākhā needs to function well is lots of opportunities to join, to couple. And then finally, the last key word in the sutra is Krishamana. Krishamana means the acts of agriculture, plowing, farming, harvesting, etc. Right? But Krisha also means to drag, to pull, because you're dragging a plow, pulling a plow. So Krisha also means to drag things, pull things, and to attract things. So Krishamana also implies attractiveness, sexiness, but it's mostly about the objective. The objective of the seed being, receiving water and light. The objective is that it'll grow and make something that can be Krishamana, that can be harvested. So the nature of this nakshatra is that it wants to join things together for the sake of getting something. It's a goal-oriented nakshatra, goal-oriented partnership. So to summarize it, Viśākhā Nakshatra is about goal-oriented partnerships. It's eager to couple with people who have the assets, qualities, and resources that it lacks. So Viśākhā Nakshatra is always going to be thirsty, hungry, eager to meet the party that has the thing that it doesn't have, to meet the party that has the assets it needs, the qualities that it lacks, the resources that it lacks. And then it's going to want to join with that entity to reap a specific reward, Krishmana. And a word or two about how to use Viśākhā Nakshatra in interpretive astrology. If you get a healthy Viśākhā, which means that it's activated by compatible planets, or that the whole chart itself is compatible with it, then that healthy Viśākhā indicates passionate dedication to teams and partners. And it also indicates a genius about being able to join and unify diverse things. An unhealthy or malfunctioning Viśākhā, which would mean that it's activated by planets that aren't compatible with it, which are like independent planets or non-long-term planets. Or if the chart itself is like not compatible with the nature of Viśākhā, then it'll tend to malfunction. And then it will indicate a tendency to abandon partnerships to run after another one. The Viśākhā won't function well without long-term commitment. So the malfunctioning Viśākhā indicates always thinking that there's some other party that who has resources that you require, that the current team that you're on is not good enough, the current partnership that you're in is not satisfying the requirements, there must be something somewhere else. As soon as something else pops up and gives an advertisement, then you run for it. That's malfunctioning Viśākhā. And another thing indicated by malfunctioning Viśākhā is a tendency for one party to exploit another party in a relationship, rather than the two parties pursuing a mutually beneficial goal. The healthy Viśākhā is two parties pursuing a mutually beneficial goal. An unhealthy Viśākhā is one party exploiting another party. Now let's get back down to our original question, right? And talk about the life lesson here. The original question was, how can people who are so different in so many ways join together in a fruitful and productive union, like especially a man and a woman? They're so different. How can they join together in a union that's fruitful and productive? They're so different. Well, this is what I've written in my commentary on this sutra in the book that I'll be publishing soon on the Nakshatra Sutra. So I say the sutra teaches us that opposites can be joined and unified. In fact, it goes further and teaches that the opposites need each other to achieve their goals. So this is an important life lesson, that opposites need each other, and we need the opposite to be opposite. So don't put too much work into trying to make your partner be exactly like you, because that's not really what the whole point of the partnership is in the first place. Let your partner be that person that the partner is, even when it's totally opposite and different and foreign to you, because it's the joining of your two natures which are opposite. The joining of those opposites is what creates the magic. So that's what the sutra I write illustrates this with water and fire, Indra and Agni, saying that the combination of these two opposites allows seeds to create life. But the sutra is particularly evocative of the male-female union because water symbolizes the feminine and fire the masculine, right? And Yugani symbolizes coupling or sex, and Krishmana symbolizes attractiveness. So what kind of life lesson do you get from that? That men need to be men and women need to be women. In general, on the whole, men are men and women are women. There's no point to whitewashing them into one androgynous group. That's not the right way to create unity, is to homogenize things. Now, not every man is totally masculine, not every woman is totally feminine. But still, that woman, whatever her balance of masculinity and femininity is in you, you will find your opposite in your partner that will complement you in just the right magical way, rather than trying to find somebody who's exactly like you. Now, this sutra also teaches us a life lesson about how to make such partnerships work. So I write, the sutra teaches us that the union of diverse parties happens only when it serves mutually beneficial goals. Classic example is just raising a child. The husband and a wife, a man and a woman, cooperate to raise a child. They have a mutual goal. Let's make a nice life for us, new person. So these two things are opposite. They're not going to come together naturally. They're opposite polarities. The way that they're going to come together, if there's some third thing that attracts them both. This is classic with war and politics. If they both get a common enemy, then they cooperate. They have a common goal. So the sutra teaches us that if you want your partnerships to work, then make sure you have mutually beneficial goals. To make any partnership last, all the partners must benefit. You might think that you're serving yourself better if you make sure that you come first and you get what you need from the relationship. But the fact is that you'll just screw up your partnership if you do that. So you actually need to not only see that your goals are met, but also see that your partner's goals are met, that you have mutually beneficial goals. And if you don't have mutually beneficial goals, you should give up on that partnership. It won't work. You'll be wasting your time in it. If there's not mutually beneficial goals, then you get exploitation of one party by the other, and that kind of thing, which although it seems it seems like, wow, the exploiter is so lucky, they're stronger, they get to exploit the person and they get everything in the relationship, the other person suffers. Actually, both of the people suffer. Nothing is pleasant or enjoyable, neither to the exploiter nor the exploited. Nobody has peace. Nobody has the real thing that satisfies, which is love. And the way that the relationship works, the hallmark, the way that you'll know if you're not in a relationship that should last, is if the relationship is enforced by fear, intimidation, or other negative tactics, imposed rules, cultural rules. If that's the thing that's holding together your relationship, just give up that relationship. Find a relationship where there's mutually beneficial goals. That's the one that will work naturally. So finally, the final thing that I write is mutual goals create unity between people of different gender, race, political orientation, religion, nationality, and even between species. So these are some of the life lessons that we get from this sutra on Viśākhā Nakshatra. I really think this sutra is amazing. I learned so much more about Viśākhā Nakshatra by studying this sutra, and this nakshatra has become so much more useful to me in predictive astrology and interpretive astrology after having studied this sutra carefully. So I encourage everybody to think deeply about this particular sutra. And stay tuned for the rest of the week. At the end of the week, I'll be doing a live YouTube session for an hour, and then next week I'll be doing the next nakshatra, and we'll go through all the nakshatras like that. Thank you so much. See you around.
Don't miss the life lessons from the other 26 star clusters of Vedic astrology. Subscribe to my channel now. And keep your ears up for announcements about the release of this book and the next online classes about it. Thanks.